Hey there, Nathan here from Tennis Fitness. Well, today I want to take you through some tennis-specific mobility exercises. Before we jump into them though, let's have a quick talk about what mobility is. So mobility compared to flexibility, there's a bit of a difference. Mobility, we're looking more at range of motion. So we're combining multiple joints through movement. Okay, so we're opening and closing movement up. We're stretching or flexibility, we're more talking about like holding a position and trying to elongate a specific muscle out. So a stretch for my bicep and my forearm would be that would be a flexibility stretch. More of a mobility exercise would be something where I'm rotating and I'm using multiple joints through the movement. So today we're going to be targeting some mobility exercises. Let's have a look at them. With this mobility program and these exercises, we want to make sure we're doing these before exercise is ideal. So if you want to feel better before you take the court, you do it just before the court or even before you leave home to get yourself to the tennis court. If you want to do it at the comforts of your own home and use a gym mat, etc., you can do it there. But ideally, get yourself to the court, do it before you start your warm-up, and you're going to feel a lot better, open up the ranges and be ready to go from that first ball. All right, first exercise we're going to do, okay, we call this the rotation opener. Now I'm going to get you to bring both hands up like that. So we're giving you a big thumbs up, touch our hands. You see I'm in a nice wide base with my toes pointing straight ahead, bracing through the torso, thumbs are up. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn and rotate through, and my line of sight is following the thumb of the moving hand. So you'll see here I'm opening up my upper body. This arm here is staying fixed. Now what you can do, the beauty of doing this exercise is we're opening up through the lower back, up through the thoracic region, so it's really mobilizing our whole spine and the muscles that help move our spine. We're also starting to get into a bit of hip rotation as well. Now each time you come around, you're going to be able to tell how much further you're going, because this thumb, it's almost like a line of sight. When you get to end range, you can see where you're at and you can almost pinpoint, and then each time you come around, you're trying to go a little bit further. All right, so once again, bend the knees, legs nice and wide, thumbs up, twist, rotate through, keep the hands at shoulder height. And we're going to go through and do 10 of those on each side. All right, next up, you can do this on a grass surface, at home on the carpet. I'm using a gym mat here on the court. If you haven't got a gym mat with you at the courts, you can just roll the towel up a couple of times, like that, and pop your knee on there. So what we're going to look to do here, a real common area players get tight through this section here, through our hip flexor, up into our bottom of our torso here, into our muscles that help move the knee up and down. So what I'm going to do here, real simple, I'm going to bring my arms up. I'm going to link my hands like that. Arms come up above my head when I'm in this position here, and that helps us to stretch out and open up through the whole back. And I'm trying to stretch my arms up to the sky when I do that. So as I push forward, the arms lift up. You're going to see in a moment how the movement flows. So we're trying to do a couple of things. We're trying to open up through the hip flexor. So push hard into the ground here, push forward with this knee, and then drive the hip forward here, which is going to open up through here. And at the same time, my arms come up. Swing them down, come up. Remember, we're stretching up, reach up to the sky, and push that knee forward at the same time. Oh, it's a great exercise. It's going to really help open this up. If you do have lower back issues, it's going to help just free the back up as well. Give it a go. All right, so I'm not just laying here in the sun. I'm about to show you a great way to mobilize your lower back. Get your back just used to moving and rotating. So what we're going to do, we're going to lay down. Arms come out. Call this a crucifix position. Bring our legs together so they're touching. Your feet come off the ground. So you see I've got 90-degree bend at the hip joint, at the knee joint and the hip joint. Push my arms hard into the ground. That's really important. I want to keep my arms fixed. Try to keep my shoulders on the ground. And from here, I just drop my legs to one side, over to the other. Now, the looser your back is and the stronger you are through your core, the quicker you can go. Okay, but to start with, I recommend you just go nice and easy. If you are someone that's been prone to lower back injuries before, I'm going to get you to start with your feet on the ground like that, and you're just going to drop them side to side like this. Fantastic way just to help loosen the lower back up. You're going to do 10 of those on each side. All right, now we're going to work on a little bit of upper body. Okay, so we're going to look at shoulder range, so just getting the shoulder girdle moving through a nice, solid, consistent range. And we are getting a bit of thoracic rotation in here too, so that upper part of your back, getting you used to setting up for a forehand or backhand position and twisting that upper back into that position. So this time we're going to drop to the side, so we've got a 90-degree bend at the knee joint and the hip joint again. I'm going to pop, in this instance, my right arm out straight. My left hand comes on top of it, and that's going to make sure that I'm stacked correctly with my upper body. From here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide, keeping my left arm straight, slide my fingers on the ground, and you'll see here, when I get to here, my hand's going to turn over, so my palm's facing up now. All right, and I bring it all the way down, just past the hips. The hand has to stay touching the ground. I bring it back the other way, and that's how we just start to open the shoulder joint up, by moving that hand. So the hand twists now, nice range through the shoulder and a big chest stretch through here, down past the hip, and we come up again. So there's a lot going on there. Thoracic rotation, opening up through the shoulder joint. Fantastic way just to get that upper body nice and loose. This next exercise, we're going to get into the old adductors, so the muscles that run on the inside of your legs. Players get tight here all the time, just from the lateral movement involved with being a tennis player. So we're going to take a big step out. Just note the position of this foot. So my foot's flat on the ground, okay? This leg's straight, so the knee's locked. My knee is straight underneath my hip. My arms come touching like that again, okay, my hands. And now what I want to do is I want to sit back, okay? As I come forward, I'm going to stretch my arms up as high as I can go. I come down, I push up. What I'm doing here is I'm stretching out through here, up into here, and when I sit back here, it's opening my lower back up as well. Stretching up, so I'm releasing through the chest and the shoulders, down, push forward, up. It's a little bit more of a complicated one. It might take a bit of time to get used to, but wherever you feel tight through this linkage, through the movement, will slowly start to open up and you'll get a lot freer through the movement. Okay, we want to make sure obviously we're doing it on both sides. Give it a go. All right, for this next exercise, we call this the Sumo Rocker. You see the position my feet are in here. We're going to step out, and then we're going to turn our feet out 45-degree angle, bend the knees, okay? Only bend down as far as you feel comfortable. If you do have any knee issues, you're not going to go down too low. So holding that position there, now watch what I do. I'm just going to rock side to side. I'm just keeping my hands here to help keep me balanced and symmetrical, and I'm actually trying to push my knee as far as I can forward over my toes, whilst keeping my foot on the ground. So you don't want to lift the heel off the ground. The heel has to stay fixed. Watch again, I'm just shifting side to side like this. It's a great way to mobilize the ankle joint, get all these muscles switched on around the knees, and also open up through the hips. And the deeper you get, the more we're going to get into the hips, and the better off you're going to feel through the hips and down through the ankle joints. That's a great way. Mobilize here, activate here, and open up the hips. Now, we're going to really isolate, okay, shoulders. This is where a lot of players struggle with range of motion. So if you want to get a bit more range on your serve, this is a great way to do it. So once again, I'm using the towel. Okay, I'm going to take my hands out, so I've got 90-degree bend at the elbow joints. Okay, once I can do that, I push them up. And what I'm trying to do here is pull the towel back behind my head. So I'm opening up through the front of my shoulders, down into my chest. And if you note the position of my back, you'll see that my hips and my lower back aren't shifting. So a lot of people are going to want to do this. As they pull down, they're going to want to lean forward. Okay, lock the core on, keep the back straight, isolate the shoulder joint. Isolate that shoulder joint up and down. Nice, slow and controlled. Keep your feet hip width apart. Breathe through it. There we go. All right, this is one of my favorite mobility exercises, but it's a little bit tricky to get right. I'm going to go through a couple of different angles for you. So I'm just using a towel. How wide you have your hands on the towel will be determined by how flexible you are through your shoulders. Okay, so this is only this is a Roland Garros short towel. Okay, I do quite a bit of work through here, but you may want to use a longer towel when you're doing it on your own. So we're going to swing the arms up in the air. Okay, as long as you can get your hands in line with your ears. So if you were to bring the towel down, you want the towel to be sitting right in the middle of your head. Okay, from that position there, I'm going to lock my arms out and keep my arms in that position. Now this is where it gets tricky because my upper body is going to do something different to my lower body. My upper body, it's going to twist and it's going to drop down, and my hips are going to push the opposite direction. Okay, so I'm going to lean over to my left with my upper body, but my hips are going to go to the right. So you can imagine what's going on here. That's a very challenging position to be in. I'm getting a big, huge stretch through here, up into what we call the lats, into the lower back. And then on the other side, okay, so down into here, I'm opening up through my hip joint. Okay, so let's have a look how it looks in real time, because I'm going to move side to side. So I'm going there, I'm going there. Try to keep those arms straight. Push the hip out. Oh, this is one of the best ones. Breathe through it. So you'll see here, I am bending my knee a little bit on the side that's going out, and that's important as well. So we're opening up through the hips, we're opening up through the knee joints, and we're getting a big range all through here. All right. That has tight hamstrings is going to be a great way to open up through there before you jump on court. So hamstring mobility is very important for you as a tennis player. We're going to take our feet hip width apart. What we're going to do from here is we're going to bring our hands down on the inside of our legs, and we grab just the front of our toes. So you see how I'm bending down like almost in a squat position. From here I'm going to grab my toes, and then as I straighten my legs out, round my back off until I get to end range. Okay, remember, it feels like it's just uncomfortable but not painful. You've got to make sure you get to that range, because we want to nudge and we want to encourage the muscle just to stretch out and release. Stretch out and release. That's how we mobilize, okay? So hands on the inside of the legs, grab the toes, breathe in, breathe out. Remember, we don't want any stopping. The better that you get at this, the straighter you'll get your legs, and then you can get down deeper into a squat. Come down, pull up against the toes and pull out against the hamstrings. It's a great way. You're going to guarantee you're going to feel that through the hamstrings. It's going to help open up through here and also release your lower back off. Give it a go. All right, now it's time to get even more specific. We're going to go a nice wide base. I want you to think you're on court in your ready position. For example, ready, we're returning serve. Okay, feet pointing straight ahead. We bring the towel up a little bit wider than shoulder width, and we pull on it nice and tight. I need you to keep tension on that towel the whole time, slightly pulling out against your hands. From here, what we're going to do is we rotate, and this is step one. Keep the feet on the ground. So we're opening up this rotation pattern, and the towel's just helping us hold really good posture through the upper body, keeping us nice and symmetrical. Okay, then if you want, you can start to add a bit more of a hip rotation in it. So internally, externally rotating the hip joints, and then you can get down even deeper, go side to side, and then you really start opening up through the hips here as well. Great way just to start to finish off this mobility program before you jump on court. Now, if you didn't know, at tennisfitness.com we offer a wide range of online programs. So if you like what we've just gone over now, that's just skimming the surface. We've got programs for players over 40, for junior players, players that specifically work on court movement, and programs that specifically work on mobility and flexibility. Now, because you've watched this video, because you're watching the summit, I'm going to give you a discount. Okay, once you go to our website, tennisfitness.com, make sure you use the code at checkout, SUMMIT24. That's SUMMIT24 at checkout, and that will make sure you get, drum roll, 25% off any of our programs. SUMMIT24, 25% off. We'll see you soon.